Hey guys, so I had my colonoscopy and I just wanted to tell you guys what I did. So I got a tip off to a podcast called The Perfect Stool, and in there the lady recommended using magnesium citrate or magnesium malate in place of whatever you've been prescribed, like the peg light or the clean light or whatever. So with the peg light and the clean light, basically their instructions are 5 days out, you eat a low fiber diet, and you stop taking iron supplements. So that's fine. You can go ahead and do that, and you could do it without eating tons of white bread too. I don't know if they realize that because they promote that, eating that. But anyway, so then 24 hours out, you start drinking clear fluids. You can have coffee, tea, black, broth, clear broth, apple juice, Sprite, ginger ale, all that stuff, right? So, and then my appointment was in the morning. So the evening before, they have you do your first clean light thing. So basically I think it was like 473 mils, which is like 2 cups. So basically you drink, what are you guys talking about over there? Oh, anyways, so you drink the 2 cups of the stuff, followed by refilling that 2-cup thing twice, I think, and you have to do it within an hour. So it's like 6 cups of liquid within an hour. And then you do it again between the 5 and 4 hours out. And then by 3 hours out, they don't want you to have anything in your mouth at all. So that was the instructions I got. So what I did was you add on an extra 12 hours, so an extra half day. So rather than starting the morning before, I started 2 nights before, so like a day and a half, and on the clear liquid. So right away during that time, you start with the magnesium. Now what magnesium does is it pulls fluid to your colon. So you're floating it all out. So you start right away, the day and a half before, and they recommend 250 milligrams to 500, depending on your tolerance and previous use of it, but they recommend trying to get higher than lower. I think I have a fairly sensitive gut, even though my body is used to taking magnesium. So, but I went pretty high. I ended up just kind of realizing the math of 100 milligrams per hour. So I was doing every 3 hours, 300. So they're saying 250 to 500 every 4 hours, but I'm just telling you there's some give. So it's not like and I'd use just 6 to 8 ounces of water when I'd put it in. Now I actually didn't use this brand. I used a different brand, but it was pretty much the same, it was the same ingredient list and the same measurement amount and everything. It was just different. I can't remember what the other brand was, but I owed somebody some magnesium, so I gave the remainder of it to them. But this has natural raspberry and berry flavor, stevia, rhodiola leaf, and citric acid, and then the magnesium citrate. It's 300 milligrams per scoop that I was putting in to the 6 to 8 ounces. Now another thing I ended up doing was, so I would drink this basically every 3 hours. Now because I had 2 nights to deal with, they recommend getting up in the night to do it every 4 hours, but I didn't do that the first night, and then the second night I did wake up early to make sure I got that all of my beverages in before the 3 hours out. So I did get up early that night. But sleep's also important, so depending on how long you sleep and how much you can drink, I think during the day you can just kind of, or you could set your alarm and chug it back 4 hours, or if you just have it by your bed, and if you happen to wake up, then just chug it, or if you go pee, chug it, or whatever. So anyway, so I did drink this, and then in between I got a flat of these at Costco, organic coconut water, because they're really good for electrolytes. So I was drinking this in between. So I drink that, and then keep on flushing it. I was drinking as much as I comfortably could. And then another thing I did have 1 cup of black decaf. And other than that, I did this one thing that made me feel like I just had like this feast. I took 2 cups of water and I put in, I did 2 scoops, but I have to say it wasn't quite flavorful enough. So I try 3, maybe even 4 scoops of the magnesium into the water and bring it to like not a boil, but almost a boil. Just like really good and hot. Oh, sorry, sprinkle before you bring it to this beef gelatin. So you're allowed like collagen or broth, right? So I put in 6 tablespoons of that to the 2 cups, and I would use 3 or maybe even 4 scoops of the magnesium, bring it to almost a boil, and then just a little pan that would hold 2 cups. Like I have small Pyrex, I lined it with parchment, fridged it, and then I had jello. I had magnesium jello, and I ate the whole pan, and so that was 600 milligrams. So that gave me a good flush. Anyway, by the next day when I woke up early, so I had to check in at 9:30, so I woke up at 5:30. So I woke up 4 hours out, and I finished drinking by 3 hours out, rather than they make you do that last big flush. They make you do that between 5 hours and 4 hours. I did it between 4 and 3, knowing that 3 was the cutoff. And that's fine. Like if you're sluggish at all, maybe you want to get between the 5 and 4 hours out. But anyway, another thing I did is at that time I flushed, and I did it the night before when I did a bigger flush. I still tried to drink their big 4 cups of water on top of my magnesium within an hour window, just so that there was like a real gush of water. So I did that twice. So in the morning I did that. I drank as much water as I could. By the time I got to my folks' place that they were chauffeuring me in the case of sedatives, I had it was like water, but kind of like yellowy acidic looking. So it was totally clear, and my doctors had no idea. So that totally was successful. And the cool thing about it, totally forgot to tell you, another thing I did was about 3 times or 4 times, I drank a half of a cup of George's aloe. Sorry, I should have brought that over just so you can see George's, but you just type in George's aloe. It's an aloe vera that's a bit thinner. It's almost like water-like because they take out, I can't remember what the word is. Is it like aloin or something like that? There's a particular quality, or I think it's right inside the skin, between the flesh and the skin. There's this part of the plant that can irritate the gut, so they remove it. And so I think the thing that's kind of good too, that it's so thin, is I don't actually know if you want coating in your colon, because they're trying to get it squeaky clean, right? So if you had any kind of thick oils or coating, that might be a tip off. So anyways, I drank, but the thing is, this is still a very protectant, and it's a bit of an anti-pathogenic too, which is kind of cool. I felt so good. I actually felt so good after just the fasting on this stuff. That was all very I'm getting my protein in with the beef gelatin. I'm getting my electrolytes in. Magnesium is so healing, and that other stuff is really bad for you. And in the case of a sensitive gut, some people don't end up even making it with that stuff, because I know, and I know a couple people that ended up in their immune system went haywire, so they never even made it to the appointments. So and then a couple months later, that same person did this with not everything I'm doing, but the magnesium part, and they made it through. So this is I'm totally convinced the way to do this. So there you go. There's how you do natural colon prep and enjoying it along the way. Okay.